Our theme today is the kiss.
Isabel Braverman.
When I had my first kiss, I was a senior in high school and I was 17 years old. If you're wondering if that's too old and is embarrassing, you're right. It is too old and it is embarrassing. I had been kissed before, but only during games of spin the bottle or truth or dare as we hid away from the parents in someone's basement. And that really doesn't count. For my entire high school experience, I didn't have a boyfriend, despite all my friends acquiring one at the same time. I remember a particularly painful Valentine's Day watching Pride and Prejudice by myself. Anyway, the first kiss was with someone I'll call John. I changed his name to protect his identity. It was at a party where kids from different high schools congregated and drank alcohol and smoked weed. It was important to have it at a house where there were no parents around. John and I were sitting on a couch when suddenly it happened. He leaned in, or maybe I leaned in, I can't remember much, and we kissed. On this couch in the middle of this party, the height of romance. The next day I had to give a full dispatch to my friends. What did he say? What did I say? How was it? Is he my boyfriend now? Well, unfortunately, my kiss did not make him fall immediately in love with me. I was confused how that couldn't happen. A month or so later, I had a really bad sore throat. I went to the doctor, and since I commonly had strep throat as a child, they said I had strep throat and prescribed me antibiotics. A couple weeks later, I broke out in a rash and went back to the doctor. They said I was allergic to the antibiotic and told me to take Benadryl. A couple weeks after that, my throat still hurt, so back to the doctor I went, where after a blood test, they discovered I had mono, the kissing disease. I wonder what the percentage is of someone contracting mono after their very first kiss, a moment that's supposed to be special and magical. While most people feel a debilitating fatigue from mono, I actually didn't feel that bad. At one point, my glands in my throat became so swollen, they were the size of golf balls. But I got to stay home from school. I had been dancing since I was 3 years old, and that year I was the lead role in the ballet, which would be my last show as I would be graduating. The doctor said that since an enlarged spleen is a symptom of mono, I could not dance because it might rupture. John, I will never forgive you. Although I did not have a boyfriend in high school, as previously mentioned, I did go on a date one time. It was with a boy whose locker was next to mine, so we frequently exchanged flirtations as we got our books and backpacks. One day he asked if I wanted to go to the movies, and I was so shocked I was rendered comatose. Later on, after I had some time to gather myself, I said yes, and we went to see The Da Vinci Code. My parents dropped me off at the movie theater, and from the back seat of the car, I could see him and his friends walking toward the theater with their skateboards. I prayed that he didn't see me being dropped off by my parents, the most uncool way to be transported to a date. In the theater, a group of our classmates were also seeing The Da Vinci Code, and we sat in front of them, our budding love on full display. During the movie, he held my hand, and I was so nervous I was shaking. He asked why I was shaking, and I said, because the movie was scary. After our date, we were sitting in the auditorium for a school-wide conference. Sitting in the auditorium seats, he held my hand again, and I pulled it away. Not at school, I said, as if I were some prudish Jane Austen character. And that sort of ended the relationship. When you think about it, kissing is a weird concept. Who was the first person to do it? I Googled, how was kissing invented? It seems that there are a few theories. Some researchers believe that it is an innate sense, and others say it is from mothers feeding their babies by chewing their food first. According to Wikipedia, the earliest reference to kissing-like behavior comes from the Sanskrit scriptures from around 3,500 years ago. If only they knew that centuries later, 17-year-old me would be getting kissed for the first time, contract mono, and not be able to perform in the dance show. That is something for the history books.